Attachment and desire is the root of all suffering. And when we become aware of the things we are attached to, whether it's a person, it's the outcome of trying to get something, or whatever it is, and we start to do what I share with you in this video, it will transform everything for you. Things will be easier, you will feel more free, and you'll notice as well that you have more magnetic energy and things come to you easier than ever. Now, the first thing and the first secret to letting go that makes it so much easier to do so has to do with understanding meaning. Meaning is the thing we are really afraid to let go of. And once we become aware of this, it changes everything. Now, let me give you an example of this. If somebody is having difficulty letting go of maybe, let's say a mom is afraid to let go of their kid going to college, for example. What happens is the emotions the mom is going through has to do with not just the kid going away to college, it also has to do with the meaning and her role as a parent, the identity of what it means to be a parent. And what ends up happening is there's so much identity that goes into the child that it's almost like she's losing a part of herself to watch her daughter or son go to college. In the same way, if somebody is having difficulty let go of a past relationship, a lot of times they think that it is the person that they're having trouble letting go of, when in actuality, it's the meaning they are giving to the person. It is the memories they might have. It's the different scenarios they may remember. And because they might identify with that person, maybe they even wanted that person's validation or approval, and maybe they didn't get it. So to let go of that is to let go of all of that. And one of the things when it comes to letting go is that we have been patterned and socially conditioned to be addicted to similar emotions and familiar emotions from childhood. There, I said it. This is like one of the interesting things that happens when it comes to letting go is many times what you think it's hard to let go of is really a patterned response from childhood to create a sense of safety. So maybe it's someone else's validation and approval, and you're trying to morph yourself, becoming a people pleaser or a nice guy or whatever, and then it's all about getting that person's validation. If they're not giving it to you, then it's like, oh, I'm not having my needs met. And one of the most important things for this process is becoming aware that this is more so a pattern that you're letting go of. It's a pattern and a meaning. And remember this, you can change the meaning to anything. Now, I'm not saying you should necessarily do this, but it's just an example. Imagine that you were in a relationship with somebody, and imagine that it ended and you're very sad and you want them back. Now imagine that they're just not responding to you and stuff like that, but you keep thinking about them, keep thinking about them. Now imagine that then what happens is they steal your dog, they break all the windows in your house, and they take your grandma's ring she gave you that meant so much to you. And they did all these crazy things. Now, what may happen is, even though that's such a traumatic experience, because of that meaning, because of what happened, you're able to more easily let go. And it makes it even easier because it's like, whoa, that was crazy. I don't want to be a part of that anymore. It might still be hard because then it's like you had all these expectations of the person, but they broke a level of trust, they crossed a boundary. Now it's easier to change the way that you relate to them because it's like you did this thing that is unforgivable. It makes it that much easier to let go. Now, I'm not saying you should paint the picture and vilify someone that's an ex, but all I'm trying to do is show you that the meaning in your mind you can change about someone. And what I recommend you do is you actually focus on the things you are grateful for in that relationship, that person, whatever it is, even that job. You might be letting go of a job, letting go of attachment to wanting, certain type of opportunities. And we'll talk about letting go of outcome here in a minute. But in general, you can reframe the meaning of these things and relate to it in a new way. And when you do that, I promise you, you will notice that things begin to change easier than ever because of that. So realize that you have the power to create the meaning, and that the thing you think you're afraid of of letting go of is actually the meaning. But here's the thing. When you let go of that meaning, you can create new meaning. If you were in a relationship with someone and it's hard to get over them, it's like you can create that meaning with either someone else or with something you're passionate about. A lot of times when people go through breakups, and I know this video isn't all about letting go of people, but it's very common that you'll see people go through a breakup and they're having a hard time, but then all of a sudden they start putting the awareness back on themselves. They start doing what they want to do. They start following their passion more so. They start hanging out with friends, and then all of a sudden, they've created new meaning. And guess what happens? It is easier for them to move through it because they are creating new neural connections in the brain connected to different things. But everything is a fundamentally neutral meaning. And the key to this and the trick is also not internalizing things, saying it means something about me. That normally goes back to a child abandonment issue, physical and emotional abandonment, where if somebody gets rejected, or it's like it reminds them of childhood subconsciously. So it's not that it didn't work out with your ex because you're not worthy, you're not good enough. It just is what it was. It's not that you lost that job because you weren't good enough. You might not even been passionate about the job, but you're just going in for a paycheck. But there's somebody that can lose a job, or you don't have to say lose a job because that's a belief, right? It's like you had a job and you lost it. Somebody could not be in a job anymore and decide that it doesn't mean that you're not a good person. They could decide and say, you know what, it means I'm going to go after my passion. I'm going to start that business. I'm going to start that blog, whatever. Videos on YouTube, whatever. You create new meaning. You have the ability to create new meaning or to just empty it altogether. Empty it altogether. And that's what we'll talk about in the second one. Now, the second one is one of the most powerful things I've been learning recently when it comes to letting go. It's a letting go secret that Alan Watts talked about. It is called the backwards law. The backwards law. The backwards law states that, quote, I'm just kidding, there's no quote. The backwards law is that the more we are seeking something, the more we desire something, the more we push it away, and the more we don't have it. Now, this is also one of the traps of personal development, because what happens is people want to create that of some type of, so they want to create themselves to be a new version of themselves, for example. They want the perfect relationship. They want the perfect job. They want to be doing what they love for a living, whatever it is. And that want, the more you want it, the more you push it away, and the more you're saying, I'm not good where I am. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. And energetically, think about what happens. I want your approval. The people that want the most approval get it the least. Isn't that interesting? The people that want approval the least get it the most. Isn't that crazy? Why? Because they're literally different vibrational frequencies. One's lack, one's abundance. If I say, I want someone's approval, please give me approval. Maybe I'll change myself. Do you guys like my shirt? Do you guys like my shirt? Is this shirt good? Will you guys approve of me? Okay, wait, no, maybe I should go change my shirt because maybe it's not good enough. Maybe I'll internalize if you didn't like my shirt, it means like I'm not good enough. And there's like all this meaning that we get to that. Scarcity mindset. And the more I do that, the more you're going to be like, bro, I don't care about your shirt. But if I were to just be myself and I don't care whether you like it or not, it's a very different energy. If I'm making this video right now, I'm like, please like this video. Please, I really hope you like this video. I really hope this video goes viral. Please go viral. Oh my God, if it went viral, it'd be so amazing. It's a desperate energy, and you're probably not liking it. But if I'm over here, and really it's all here. This moment's all here now. But the idea is the more present I can be, because also look at the difference between this. One is future-based or past-based. I shouldn't have done this in the past, or I hope something happens in the future. It's not here. It is not here. Over here, though, I'm present to the moment. I am grateful for whatever this is, what it's meant to be, and I'm in the energy of abundance. So the trap of personal development sometimes is I need to get somewhere else, and if I get somewhere else, then what happens is then I'll be good enough. Then I can finally relax. But one of the keys to this is knowing you're good either way. Let's repeat that mantra. I'm good either way. I am good either way. Whether this job comes in or not, I'm good. Whether I attract this person or not, I'm good. Whether this happens, I'm good either way. I am whole and complete the way that I am. And the more we sit in that energy of presence, the more we are being present to the moment, the more we allow ourselves to just be present, the more it's like it comes to us. So the key to this really has to do with letting go of the outcome, and the backwards law helps us realize that controlling the outcome is actually resistant. Because the only reason we try to control the outcome of things is because we believe we actually can. But the truth is, the more we control, the more we resist. So instead, let's go with the flow. Let's go with the flow. Now, the third thing has to do with letting go of the outcome and understanding certainty with this whole process. Now, here's the thing with letting go that will also help you do this, and this is a game changer. All magic happens in the unknown. All magic happens in the unknown. The only thing that happens in the known is what we've thought, felt, and acted before. What we've done on autopilot is what we continue to get. Certainty. I want to create certainty around these different emotions. I want to think, feel, and act equal to all of these things, and I hope I can just create the familiar emotions over and over again. Well, guess what happens? We try to control things, and when things don't happen the way we want, we feel resistance. The truth is, if we simply surrender, feel safe in our bodies, and allow ourselves to see what the universe could give us, it's an expanded state where many opportunities can come in. Now, here's the deeper roots of this I want to share real quick. And you guys let me know if you want a different video on this, because I could do the whole video on this. But the people that want certainty, kind of like a drug, the people that want certainty, that want to control the outcome of things, crave certainty because they've stopped trusting in themselves. They've stopped trusting in the universe. It's like, I can't trust the universe to allow things to happen. I have to control things. I have to have everything happen the way that I'm meant to have it. The challenge is that the magic gets sucked right out of life. There's less opportunities for things to come in. Now, the deeper core of this is that probably what happened is when you were a kid, somebody broke trust with you. They let you down somehow. And then you felt like you weren't good enough. You felt like you couldn't trust. And then what happens is you say, okay, if I can't trust, I'm going to recreate this for myself. I have to trust this control. And the more you try to have control, the more you will feel out of control. The backwards law that we were talking about a minute ago. Because the more you try to control, the more you resist. The magic of this is realizing that even some of the things you can imagine when it comes to what you want to create in your life, the things you want to create, they are a limitation. What if the universe could bring you something even better than you imagine? But we're so attached to how we think things, it's like, okay, what's going to happen? I'm going to attract my soulmate. I'm going to go to yoga. I'm going to sit next to 3 spots next to this person. And then I'm going to have this conversation with them. They're going to invite me over to coffee, blah, 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 blah. This is like long thing in their mind. And if you go to the yoga place, no one's there. You're like, oh, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. But if instead, then later on, you're at the coffee shop. And somebody comes up to you and says hi to you. And you're just so in your head about that somebody didn't come up to you at the yoga place. You're, oh, they're not my soulmate. They're not here. They're not here. And then somebody comes and says hi to you and you completely ignore them. And that could have been the freaking soulmate. So the reason I share all this is because the key is getting out of the known into the unknown, allowing and trusting the universe to bring you something even more magical, and understanding that this is a process of letting go. Now, I do have a free PDF that you can download. It's the Raise Your Vibration Blueprint. The second step is letting go. There's also the first step and the third step. This is the key to transformation. You can click that. It's in the link in the description box below. Download that PDF. It's about 8 or 9 pages long, but it shows you step by step how to go through this process, and it will completely change your life. So what are the 3 things that we need to make sure? Little summary of everything that we're learning today. That meaning is the thing that we're having trouble letting go of. Afraid that we're not going to be able to create new meaning. And of course, you can create new meaning. Secondly, the backwards law. The more you try, the more you control, the less in control you feel. The key is letting go of that energy by realizing it's not serving you, and you could start to be grateful right here in the present moment right now. And then thirdly, let go of the certainty, knowing that all the magic happens in the unknown. Now, also, there's a video here, right here, the 5 secrets to letting go that make you magnetic AF. It's one of the most popular videos on letting go. Watch it. I think it'll change your life. The less attached you are, the more attractive you are. People are attracted